So Sean Payton taking Bo Nix as the 6th quarterback in the draft last spring. At the time, Nix was generally considered, without a doubt, QB6 in that draft, and most pre-draft analysis looked at Bo Nix and said, this guy's a second rounder.
Second round,
yes. At least in terms of grade. Yes. We know that quarterbacks are always going to get drafted higher, but he was not graded where he was taking, which if you're to do the quick math on the, okay, well, let's just comp this guy, grade versus where he actually got picked, that would suggest a reach out of Sean Payton. At the time, I was not thrilled with the pick. Andy, you were not thrilled with the pick. I think both of us, and being kind of draft nerds that we are, we're looking at all the grades and just being like, why are you taking this guy at number 12?
Right.
If you wanted him that bad, trade back, okay? And
or
make
trade
that
back in the first round.
Exactly. Like whatever it may be, you could have dropped 10 picks, gotten yourself another bevy of draft picks, and probably still gotten him. We'll never know if that's true or not. You can
Although
always...
the story did come out that Sean McVay messed with Payton over wanting Bo Nix.
Right.
Thus,
and it's...
I can't remember the draft pick, but apparently Payton paid him back this year with some fake interest in someone that McVay liked.
Sean Payton famously or infamously had planned to take Patrick Mahomes with the number 11 overall pick and wasn't able to get him because Kansas City jumped him, and so he ended up taking Marshawn Lattimore at number 11. Again, does some of this stuff get overstated a little bit over time? I tend to think it does, The tales of the Nuggets telling everybody, yeah, we wanted Doncic or Shea, and both of them were gone. And we couldn't swing a trade, so we took Michael Porter Jr.
The guys we wanted have worked out.
Right,
let me tell you.
Right, yeah, exactly.
We weren't on any of the other guys you haven't heard of from those other 10 picks.
And here's the thing: I'm sure they did want those guys.
Yeah,
but if you wanted them that bad,
you'd have made the trade.
Yeah, you figure out a way, especially going up to get Shea before the Clippers took him. Either way.
It's worked out for Denver.
Sean Payton, nervous he was going to miss out on his guy, takes Bo at number 12. Bo has a very good rookie season. What was he? 3rd in offensive rookie of the year, 2nd in offensive rookie of the year, whatever he was.
I believe he was 2nd.
Okay. He had a very good first season in the NFL. He was actually 3rd.
3rd?
Yes.
Who was ahead of him?
It was it Brock Bowers? Hold on, let me scroll down. It was Brock Bowers. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so he was 3rd. Brock Bowers, who you said they should have drafted. Technically, that then makes you smarter than Sean Payton, Andy.
Sean looks like he's got it figured out with Bo.
He does. Right now, it seems to be cooking a little bit. When you see that, though, okay, because I'm like any other red-blooded American male, when it comes to draft prep, I start to be like, okay, I want a big dude with a cannon arm who can move a little bit. Yes. All right? Like, those tend to be the guys that I get excited about. In the draft where Bo Nix went number 12 overall, the guy that I really liked was Drake May. And he ended up going number 3 to New England. And I would say right now, you can tell me if you disagree with this, Bo Nix has a higher floor but a lower ceiling than Drake May.
Yeah, I would say that just because of the big arm for May.
Right.
And I know we're going to hear from folks that saw the playoff game and insist. And look, really, Bo's got enough arm for what they're asking him to do. There's no doubt about it.
Without a doubt.
May's got the Josh Allen-like arm.
Yeah.
Josh Allen.
To your point, look, May had a good second part of the season. We've seen that around here where we thought a good second part of the rookie year might lead to something in Drew Lock. And then now May was picked much higher.
Yep.
And I think has a
number
much better, more robust grade on him than what Drew had. But at the end of the day, we'll wait and see. I know plenty of people that do believe the long delivery of May could be a problem. They're worried about that.
Right. It's again, if May were to hit his ceiling, well, then you're probably looking at a perennial Pro Bowl quarterback.
Sure.
But he may not. Quarterbacks are finicky. Is probably the word that I would use. Right now, Jaden Daniels is running away with being the best QB that was taken in that round. Caleb Williams, like Ben Johnson, you got a lot to repair there going on in Chicago. Weird first year in the NFL. J.J. McCarthy, can he play? I don't know. Michael Penix, impressed a little bit in flashes last year. Another guy with a ton of college experience that Atlanta snatched up at number 8, and then they got the weird thing with Kirk Cousins. But back to the Bo Nix point, okay? Because if you were just going simply off of traits, size, arm strength, speed, all of that, Anthony Richardson, 10 times out of 10 over Bo Nix, right?
He's the robot QB from the video game.
Right. But it goes to show you that a player like Bo Nix that walks through the door and he's ready for the stage because he's been on the big stage. He's played in big games. He's massively experienced. He's had the, sort of the trials of being a quarterback at a huge SEC program in his home state and then ultimately having it go south on him, which ironically then made him go northwest to the University of Oregon, but then goes and wins at that big-time program and has a ton of success. Again, Bo Nix, a guy that you would look at and say, in a traditional sense, do number 12 overall picks look like Bo Nix? Not really. But for Sean Payton, it was, yeah, but I know this guy can play right away. And honestly, like, after a month, Bo Nix looked as though it's like, hey, I'm ready to just go out on the field, manage the game, make a couple of exciting runs a day, and boom, we got something special here, and we can win with this. And that's where the Broncos are at right now. Like, again, Bo Nix, is he a standard number 12 overall pick? No, but oddly, he's a safe pick at number 12.
Well, and he's going to prove it's going to be real interesting to watch the J.J. McCarthy evolution.
Yeah.
Because, everybody, and Sean joked about that, where he fooled the Vikings into thinking that he wanted McCarthy, which got them to trade up. So everybody was messing with everybody last year. He is safe. He definitely was safer than McCarthy because McCarthy doesn't have a lot of game tape. He just had the 1 year in Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Before they took him as the starter or whatever. Very young. But he, there's plenty to like about McCarthy too. But I don't know that he had the accuracy numbers with Bo Nix. The biggest thing about Bo Nix, and to watch him at minicamp last week, I mean, it is, you don't normally have rookies taking over a team this quickly either. There's still some stuff to prove.
Yeah.
He had the most attitude of anybody offensively out there last week.
Without a doubt.
And that's what's interesting. That's what feels different.
He runs the show.
I will point this out. Just so people don't think we're just talking to talk, because it is radio. That's part of the job sometimes. But Bo, you and I have been out to a bunch of the mini camps post-Manning era, okay? Pretty much all of them. Teddy was never talking to the defense. Drew was never talking to the defense. Pick your other quarterbacks. I don't know that Joe Flacco ever talks to anybody, quite honestly, so I can't say I was surprised the year that he didn't do it. Case Keenum maybe did a little bit of the John, but I don't remember any of the guys in the last 5 years or any of the young supposed-to-bes going after the defense the way we just watched Bo do last week.
I think one of the key differences and why if you as a Broncos fan want to buy all the stock in this team and say, hey, this is the year, finally somebody else is going to win the AFC West and all of that, the trash talk, the attitude, I love, but it's a product of the organization having invested in him having met the challenge, and him making it his, right? Which, you compare all those dudes, they were all either first-year guys, or they were trying to figure out, or they were in a quarterback competition, and they couldn't worry about jawing with anybody. They were just trying to, wrap their minds around the playbook. I think Bo is so beyond that point right now, so ahead of it as a second-year guy going into, really, here's another topic to think about when it comes to this draft class, those 6 QBs. Again, outside of Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix walks into year number 2 steps ahead of the rest of the class. Caleb's got a new coach. Drake May's got a new coach. Michael Penix is in the weird Kirk Cousins situation, and J.J. McCarthy hasn't taken an NFL snap yet.
Well, and Bo returns to a team where we go back to that surprisingly high percentage of the roster returning. Same offensive line, different running back, but still a couple guys at running back that he knows. Basically the same receiving core and guys that he's worked with. We'll see if Pat Bryant, he looks like he's got something with Pat Bryant, at least in the red zone snaps we were able to watch. And we'll see if that continues. But he has got stability amongst everybody else. And one more point on the trash talk. When I talk about this, again, there is a competitiveness to his trash talk.
Right.
I'll just, and people, some people will freak out at the name. But I used to like when basically Payton would get tired of hearing the defense yap and he would snap back at him and then he'd want his guys to go back after him.
Yeah.
That was the kind of feel Bo Nix's jawing had.
Because, I mean, think about it, Andy.
Not false bravado. You know, this guy just wanted to compete against them, and that's what I like more than anything else.
The Broncos defense is still way better than the Broncos offense.
Yeah, better and deeper and all that.
All of it. All of it. I think I would call this offense ascending. It is nowhere near a finished product yet. Okay? We're still figuring out who the goddamn joker is on this offense.
I'd say we need a joker.
I'd love a yards after catch superstar for this offense.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Whatever position it comes at.
The other thing that Bo Nix has going for him, that again, these other QBs, I would say right now don't. Maybe McCarthy has it to a certain degree.
He hasn't proven anything to anybody.
But he hasn't proven anything to anybody. But it is this. He knows he doesn't have to be spectacular to win games because they're elite on another side of the ball. You know, the Flores defense in Minnesota is phenomenal. Okay? Bo Nix knows, well, I can take advantage of those 2,000-plus snaps I have and know how to not make brain-dead errors. The kind that plague every young quarterback. I can avoid turnover-worthy plays. I can avoid sacks. I can do all those things because guess what? If we punt the ball away, I know my defense is going to get the job done. We're not going to get killed. They're not just going to march right down the field on these guys, okay? That's not to say that this defense is going to pitch a shutout every single week. NFL offenses are pretty damn good. But again, you can just play to your style of football. There isn't a massive amount of pressure on Bo Nix to go out and throw for, 4,500 yards and 35 touchdowns this year. I don't think he's going to do that. And number one, I don't think Sean Payton wants him to do those things. I think Sean Payton wants him to play point guard, distribute the ball, run the offense, score a few touchdowns, let defense win the game. That's all the Broncos have to do this year.
Yeah, I hope the defense, though, because I feel like we saw him, he was taking more chances. Now, again, they didn't always pay off. He threw a couple picks, but I like that he was trying to get the ball to places he wasn't last game.
He's got to hit those shots when they're there.
He does.
He has
and again, not all the picks were his fault.
Right.
Guys batting balls in the air. It was every interception is a story, as they like to say. But I'm just saying what I would like to see is I'd like them to know this defense is so good he can feel free to test some of what he's testing in camp out there with having – because like you said, you can't just let the defense win it all the time.